Back to another album review. It's been over a year since the last time I reviewed anything from Foo Fighters, and today's review is on Medicine at Midnight. This is the 10th studio album from Foo Fighters, and it's a follow-up to Concrete and Gold, which I talked about last year. Granted, I already reviewed all the previous albums from Foo Fighters last year. Anyways, this album was self-produced, but with help from Greg Kurstin, who also produced Concrete and Gold. This album was recorded in Encino between October of 2019 and February of 2020. The album was originally going to release sometime in 2020, but it got delayed to February 5th, 2021 because of the pandemic. Just like with Foo Fighters' previous work, it was released under RCA Records and Roswell Records. This album was mainly centered around alternative rock. There are elements of hard rock, dance rock, and power pop. Before recording started, Foo Fighters said that they would take a break starting in October of 2018, after touring for over a year in support of Concrete and Gold. The break ended in August 2019, and Dave Grohl started working on demos for new material. Foo Fighters ended up recording this album in a large old house in the 40s over in Encino. I think it's pretty interesting that they decided to record it there instead of a traditional studio. Recording went by pretty quickly. February of 2020 was when Dave confirmed that the album was complete. And now let's talk about the songs. This album starts with Making a Fire. The song shows where the elements of power pop come in. Dave Grohl's daughter, Violet, also performed backing vocals. The other backing vocalists from this album are Samantha Sidley, Barbara Greska, Laura Mace, and Inara George. Omar Hakim even helped with the percussion. A snippet from the song was released online on February 1st, 2021, in order to drop hype. I do think this is a great song and starts the album off very well. The next song is Shame, Shame, which is actually the first single from this album. The single was released on November 7th, 2020. That's actually the same day where Foo Fighters performed this song on Saturday Night Live, and I watched them play it live along with another song. They also played the song on The Howard Stern Show on February 10th, 2021. There was a music video that was made for this song that was directed by Paola Kadaki. It features Sofia Bautella, and there's going to be a link to it in the description. I do think the song is alright overall. Up next is Cloud Spotter, which is more upbeat than the previous song. I also like this song since it feels more like Foo Fighters' traditional style. I followed up with Waiting on a War, which was released as a single on January 14th, 2021. I read that people describe the song as being a more modern approach to give peace a chance when it comes to the lyrics. The lyrics were inspired by a conversation that Dave had with his daughter, Harper, in 2019, when Harper asked if there's going to be a war. Dave even explained that he feared the effect of the Cold War back when he was growing up in Washington, D.C. He even thought this was one of the best songs that he had ever written. I'd like to mention that he does play an acoustic guitar on this song. The song also features Jacob Braun on cello, Alma Fernandez on viola, Charlie Bisharat, and Song Lee on violins. They were also featured on Shame, Shame. There was also a music video that was made for the song. There's going to be a link to it in the description. Overall, I consider this to be the best song on this album. I may even consider it to be one of Foo Fighters' best songs in general. After that is Medicine at Midnight, which obviously shares the same name as the album. It's followed up by No Sun Up Mine. So it's the second single from this album, and the single was released on New Year's Day of 2021. If you listen to this song, you'll notice that it delves into hard rock. Around line that NME compared the song to Stone Cold Crazy by Queen, and Ace of Spades by Motorhead. I also read that Nate Mandel said that recording the song was challenging for him since the band approached things differently compared to their usual method of recording new music. Foo Fighters ended up performing the song live on Jimmy Kimmel Live on January 14th, 2021. They also performed Waiting on a More. There was also a music video that was made, and I'll post a link to it in the description. Up next is Holding Poison, which is another one of my favorite songs from this album. There are some elements of hard rock as well as elements of dance rock. The next song is Chasing Birds, which has a slower pace compared to most of the other songs. Since this song in particular is more in the realm of alternative rock. This album ends with Love Dies Young, which is another song in the realm of hard rock. And I like the overall tone of the song. I just think that the tone makes it the perfect song to end the album with. I read that Foo Fighters announced in February of 2020 that they were going to go on tour in April and May of 2020 in order to celebrate the 25th anniversary of their self-titled debut album. Now, unfortunately, the tour was postponed due to COVID-19. I think it was the right decision to not go on tour because of the pandemic. They were planning on releasing the album after the pandemic was over, but they instead decided to release it on February 5th of this year. Dave Grohl figured that this would allow the album to be heard and that people's spirits to be lifted, since Foo Fighters are currently unable to tour at this time. And I read that this album was met with mostly positive reviews from critics, and rightfully so. In fact, it has a 75 on Metacritic. As for my opinion on it, I think this is a great album overall. And I think it's about as good as Concrete and Gold, considering the fact that both albums have the same producer. This album does have more elements of pop compared to that album, however, since Foo Fighters are mostly in the realm of post-grunge. And it also has only 9 songs, while Concrete and Gold has 11, just for comparison. Overall, I highly recommend this album, especially if you're a Foo Fighters fan like myself. Now, this part where I question you, have you listened to Medicine at Midnight? If so, what are your thoughts on it? What's your favorite song from it? Do you think it was a good decision to have more elements of pop this time around? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified of future uploads. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with another review. Speaking of which, the next review is episode 100, and I have something extra special planned for that.